Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We've got a new guest for you every week, somebody important in the community. Could be politics, could be business. This week it's media. It's the legendary KB, Kevin Burns. Hey, thank you, sir, for joining us. Appreciate it.
It's a great pleasure to sit down with a veteran broadcaster, another veteran broadcaster, much like myself.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, in the time that I've gotten to know the staff here, I really enjoyed working with everyone, including yourself, and I know
that's shocking. I know.
Well, you and I have some great radio stories that we can tell back and forth in radio experiences.
Yeah, our careers kind of parallel each other a lot because we're about the same age and we've been in radio forever, it seems like. So yeah, we kind of have a lot of fun, and we're so excited because you're joining Lake TV and starting up your own show. By golly, that's pretty exciting.
Well, I'll tell you, I was kind of blown out of the water, and as the story goes, I think you reached out to me, sent me a text, and I read the text and I thought to myself, you know, what can I do for these guys? I mean, Mama always told me I had a face for radio. My own mother said that. And I thought, well, maybe I could do some voice work for them, you know, whatever they needed. And I got to thinking about it and I thought, well, why not go in, sit down, listen to what they have to say? Yeah. And so we did that. And we've put together some pretty interesting stuff. We've had a little fun doing some, as you like to call them, warm-ups.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the big show on June 17th.
Yeah, that's right. First show will be Thursday, June 17th, and it'll be every day, twice a day, 7 in the morning, 11 at night. And you've got some pretty fun. When we first talked, you know, you said, I want to have some fun.
Yeah.
You know, I like getting out in the community. I like talking to people. I like promoting events and stuff like, can we do that? And it's like, well, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
So, and that's kind of the plan, right?
Well, you know, I've always been a big proponent of promoting this beautiful area. Yeah. I've lived here for well over 20 years. My wife Tina and I live in Camdenton right now. And even when we go away, it's always kind of nice when you're rolling back and getting ready to get back to the Lake of the Ozarks. Yeah. I love it here for a variety of reasons. You know, you've got everything you need all in one place, and then you've got all of this beautiful lake area, the nature, which we get on a daily basis in our backyard with the deer and all the other critters that like to come through.
Where the deer and the antelope play.
I guess is absolutely it. And the thing about it is, I grew up in the city. I grew up in St. Louis. And I was actually in the suburbs, but, you know, we traveled to the city, so we didn't see a lot of what people are privy to down here. Mm-hmm. And I visited the lake years ago. A good friend of mine who lives up in Ferguson, Dave Fires, he and his family had a lake house down here over around Rocky Mount, over off of W and Y. And so we used to visit that every once in a while, and that kind of really got me started. And then I had an opportunity to come down here and just do a radio gig for a while, you know, and I didn't know that it would last well over 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've kind of become a mainstay in the community, and that'll happen when you're doing a morning show. Right. That becomes very popular, which you did for 20 years. So how long have you been on the air overall?
Well, it's been close to 30 years now, man, and that's a lot of time behind a microphone in a production studio, as you well know.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed it. You know, I started out in St. Louis back in about 85, 86, went to Broadcast Center, and then waited for my first radio job, which was at the now dark KFMZ off of Walnut in Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah.
Used to drive, probably about 2 hours to do one 8-hour shift, Saturday night to Sunday morning. Wow. And it was like, yeah, finally.
But that's heaven, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's like the dream.
Yeah.
I remember those days, man. People thought I was on drugs, but I was just so excited to be on the air, you know, because that's like the dream come true.
Right.
You know, and so you have become kind of a legend in the community, a mainstay in the community after being on the air, doing the morning show for so long. I'm guessing you never figured that would happen, right? I mean, it might have been a dream, but you never thought that dream would come true?
I think everybody likes to think that, you know, they'll be on top, you know, top of the heap.
Yeah.
And, you know, you always have maybe some little inklings in your brain of what you'd like to do, what you'd like to see, how you'd like to be able to look back and say, you know, I did this, I did that. I was very fortunate. I walked into a job there back in '98 that lasted until about 2004. Checked out for a couple of years, went up to Sedalia, came back in 2006, and was at it ever since. And, you know, it's interesting because now that I'm out and about, so many people come up to me and say, well, we miss you, and it's just not the same without you. And I think maybe all along the way I didn't take the time to step back and reflect a little bit on how you affect people's daily lives. It's almost like it's a part of their day. I mean, they get up, they turn it on, they listen to it, and go about their business. But I always thought that, when you're on in the situation that I was, especially during a morning show, people don't have to look at the clock. They know when you're doing certain things at certain times, where they're supposed to be, if they're, time to make that first pot of coffee, time to be in the shower, got to get the kids to school. Oh, by the way, I need to get to work, and they can do it all just by listening and not even look at the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do become a part of their lives, but you don't realize it because it's the old can't see the forest for the trees.
Right.
You're part of it. You don't see it until you step back, and you've been able to see that. And you're starting up a new show on Lake TV, June 17th, the first show. It's What's Burnin' with Kevin KB Burns. Right. This is Kevin KB Burns, by the way.
Me.
So we'll continue to get to know him a little better when we continue here on the Spotlight Show right after this.
There's nothing like summer at Lake of the Ozarks, and Hy-Vee and Osage Beach is your one-stop shop for your day on the boat and fun in the sun. We feature the lake's largest wine and spirits department, along with our lake-famous beer cave. And you'll want to check out our brand new Summer Fun Center with all your apparel, toys, coolers, inflatables, towables, and so much more. Hy-Vee and Osage Beach, voted the #1 grocery store in Missouri and your one-stop shop for an unforgettable day in the sun all summer long.
Discovered over a century and a half ago, Bridal Cave continues to amaze those who venture through it. As you tour through Bridal Cave, you'll see massive onyx formations, giant columns, and the one and only Mystery Lake. Bridal Cave's unique stalactite-adorned bridal chapel has provided a truly unique backdrop for over 3,000 couples from around the world. Bridal Cave is open daily, rain or shine. Guided tours leave every few minutes. Come explore the lake's favorite natural attraction. Explore Bridal Cave today.
It's our most protective wash yet. Introducing the Quick Car Ceramic Wash. It's an industrial-grade polymer solution with ceramic nanotechnology, resulting in high-end, advanced scientific protection of your vehicle's finish. The Quick Car Ceramic Wash. Try it on its own or with the monthly Unlimited Wash Club today. Quick Car. Quick, easy, and professional every time. In Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We're getting to know the legendary KB, Kevin Burns, who's got a brand new show here on Lake TV. Started June 17th. It's a weekly show, but airs every day, twice a day. 7 in the morning, 11 at night, right? Pretty exciting. So you're making this switch from radio into TV, real full-time TV. Right. Is it scary? Is it exciting? What's it like for you?
It's, Chris, I think one of the best parts about this is it's been such a learning experience. And, you kind of get into a routine, so many of us do in our daily lives. And you just now get to kind of move into that second phase, that second chapter of your career. And I've got to say, man, never in my life would I have ever dreamed of being involved in TV, maybe on the other side of the camera, but certainly not this side.
Right.
And it's been a learning experience. I've got to work with a lot of people, learning some new methods of doing things, the proper ways to do the broadcast and such. But I've had a lot of fun with it. I really have. And I've gotten an opportunity to meet some new folks, talk to some old friends. And that's what's really been great about this in the last couple of months. I've had the opportunity to really get out there and see people that I haven't talked to in maybe 6 months, a year, and even longer, and that's what's been fun about it. So the opportunity now to really expand on that and put pictures and video to what I've always been doing in the past, and maybe being in the kitchen with a local chef. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And then just talking to some of the movers and shakers in the community, things that we are looking forward to discussing more about finances, certainly about history. Good golly, I've got a lot of folks that I've been talking to about a variety of different things. And I think the most important part of this is to get out and have fun, get the community involved, but do what we can do, because I know Lake TV is all over the place.
Yeah.
really promote this area. And I will say Lake TV has always done a great job of promoting the Lake of the Ozarks, but this is going to be a fun journey, man, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And we're excited about it too. Again, you can see his show 7 in the morning, 11 at night, every day on Lake TV. So you mentioned the cooking, and actually, you were thinking at one point you could have become a cosmetologist. You could have become a chef.
Yes.
You decided on radio, right? So, I mean, but you have these different areas, and hopefully with your new show, you'll be able to kind of have fun with all these things.
How would you like to see me as your hairdresser?
You know, I was thinking that. I'm like, I'm not sure I'm going to have KB cutting my hair, right?
Yeah, when I come in with
I bet you would have been a good hairstylist, though, right?
Well, I don't know what got me interested in it, but I had thought about, a career in cosmetology, even looked into cosmetology school a little bit. Always enjoy cooking. I mean, my mom hated us being in the kitchen, but I still managed to get in there anyway and mess around, getting yelled at in the process. And I've really kind of gotten into being I don't know what you want to call it, an amateur chef, where my wife is always concerned when I get out the pots and pans and get a little too close to the stove, but it always seems to work out. We haven't had that's why you have smoke alarms in your home, Chris.
Right.
That's exactly why.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've experienced that quite a bit. Was it a shock when you left your morning show and then all of a sudden you're not having to get up at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, and
well, that's always a blessing. I mean, you do that for so long, and even on those days, like on weekends when you've got time off, you're still waking up at that time in the morning.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what do I do with myself now? Everybody's in bed sleeping. I don't want to start, making a bunch of noise and getting the animals all worked up. So you just you kind of learn to deal with it. But I'll just say, after doing it for as long as I've done it, I don't necessarily miss it all that much.
No. And I think getting up that early, because I did the morning show for a long time too, I think it takes something out of you. Just getting up in the middle of the night every day.
Right.
It's not easy, and you got to go to bed at night too. Right. That's not an easy schedule.
It was never that tough going to bed, like say 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, even later, and getting up at the designated time, because you knew what you had to do. You knew where you had to be. But you always in the back of your mind thought, well, now, the more you push it, the later you get, you're going to have to make up for it at some point.
Yeah. So you were born in St. Louis? Are you a Missouri native?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been in this area pretty much your whole life, Missouri anyway. So
Between St. Louis and Lake of the Ozarks, that's where I've been. That's what I do.
any place you'd rather live than the Lake of the Ozarks?
My wife and I have talked about it a lot of times, and Tina has just a fascination with the beach. As a matter of fact, she's been to the beach here recently, and she loves it, and I see that love in her eyes, and we're still around a body of water. So we've talked about maybe Florida, and even looked into maybe even moving to Mexico, but I think we'll stay in the good old US of A.
There you go, at least for now.
Right, yeah.
Right,
Well, I think no matter what.
Okay, so we're running down on time. What can we look forward to on your show? What's burning with Kevin KB Burns?
Lots of fun, lots of enjoyment, lots of people telling you about what they do, how they do it, and making sure that we are promoting this area. I love Lake of the Ozarks. Always have, always will. And I really hope that people tune in and see all the fun that I've had behind the mic, now behind the camera. That's what it's all about. We'll do a new show every Thursday, and then 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to rock it. We're going to have a great time.
Absolutely, you got that right. So, everybody, you've listened to him for years and years and years on the radio going, wonder what that KB guy looks like. First time we talked to him, he's like, I think we should put Kevin Burns in the name of the show because they don't know what KB stands for. Right? Well, now you do, and now you know more about Kevin Burns, KB Burns. You can see his show again. It's a weekly show. You can catch it every day at 7 in the morning, 11 at night, and he's going to look refreshed because he doesn't have to get up in the middle of the night anymore.
That's great. Thank you, Chris.
KB, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
You bet.